don't want people that were just allegedly, no matter what, involved in an altercation, meeting back up again. That is
Yep.
like the worst thing
Right.
you could do.
Yep.
And it makes sense for them to be apart while there's an independent investigation going
The
on. Like,
best thing for everybody involved was to go back to their houses, be it out here in Rancho Cucamonga or Kenny in North Carolina, where the hell he lives now, any of those places,
go pet his
and just sit
cats. Go pet his
down.
cats. Pet my cat, please.
Exactly, and just
But
sit down and just breathe for a week, 2 weeks,
right.
whatever. And like you encourage, like James and I talked about, get away from this shit for a couple weeks and just detox.
Exactly.
Right.
Seriously.
You need it, because I know I need it.
You need to realize
I needed a
your
month
breaking
of
point
this shit.
before you actually hit it.
Yes, you have to be self-aware and you have to be willing to self-accept.
Yep.
There are like, for me, it's just, I don't know. It gets easier. It gets easier to like, just, I don't know. Maybe it's because I feel like after I turned 30, I just kind of like stopped caring. I don't know what it is about turning 30, but I was just kind of like, you know what?
I'm
I've got
almost
two
to
kids.
that point. I'm almost to
Hey,
that point. I'm
Jessi.
27.
Yeah.
Fist bump to that. I'm 30
Babies.
years old too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Thank you,
33.
JJ.
Babies.
about to
I'm
turn
33.
27 on the 29th.
I turned
Nice.
46 last month. Y'all are tough.
But seriously, like, I don't know. But, and here's the thing. Taking a break is so healthy and it's so good for you and everybody needs it. You need to recharge your own batteries, you know?
Yeah.
You have to do
Absolutely.
that. But one of the things that a lot of people have said to me after, I kind of came out with this whole kind of essay thing, they were like, well, just log off. Okay, just log off.
It's not that easy for you.
No, it's
I would
not.
love.
You
In fact,
just-
let her have the floor. I want her to explain why for people who don't understand.
Right, all right, here's the thing. As much as I love to take breaks, and I often do, that doesn't stop people from still screenshotting my tweets and threatening me and trying
Right.
to campaign to get my kids taken away from me because I have a medical marijuana card. It doesn't make people stop actively trying to take down a GoFundMe. It didn't stop somebody who is in a state mental health facility for being found legally not competent to stand trial for arson, find my phone number, find my address, and send me letters claiming that my child was his because the government said so.
Yeah.
That didn't stop him
God.
from doing that, no matter how much of a break I took.
You're
I
right.
am still at risk. And you know what sucks is if I'm off social media, then I can't see the threat happening.
Nope.
I have to be aware. As much as I love taking breaks, me taking a break does not stop people from talking shit. Like, me taking a break will not stop that.
Nope.
You know?
Of course
Just like
not.
when CM Punk was out, people were still talking shit. When MJF was out, people were still talking shit. Just because they go away doesn't mean the talk does. So yes, while I can take a break from it, I still have in the back of my mind that there was a literal crazed guy who 3 days before I gave birth to my second child, I had to go to court and testify and say what this guy did and have him cross-examine me on the phone from a mental institution.
Oh,
Like,
that's crazy.
it was awful. It
That's
was
awful. It is awful.
And it was scary to keep getting letters. And I was like, how the fuck did you find my address?
Right?
Oh, you can look it up. I'm like, you're in a state mental health facility. That's besides the point.
Right.
That people need to understand where I'm coming from on that. Like,
Yep.
and everybody else. Like, I'm sure anyone else who's been on Twitter and takes a break goes, oh gosh, I hope they're not talking about me, or I hope they're not saying things about me behind my back, because you as soon as you log
Yep.
in, you're gonna be into the shitstorm, and that's not cool.
And
It's not cool.
and the sad part is like you mentioned that, and what happens with that's just with wrestling fans. You want to know what the hell happens with actual wrestlers? Go check out my 2-part series on
Right.
this subject, because
Look what happened to Sonya Deville.
we cover Danielson and what happened to Bryan Danielson. Danielson, this is I think months prior to his AEW debut. I think it might have been a month out. And there were rumors and speculation by this point that he was even going to be there, right? Man, did the Tribalists come out with pitchforks and everything, man. And very, very disturbing comments. Like, one of the comments that will forever stick in my mind, and strictly because of how horrible it was, and how my friend, who was barely in any of this shit, reacted, was hope you break your neck again so another wrestling company doesn't care, which was like the most
Jesus.
absurd, awful thing I've ever heard anybody say to a professional wrestler. Like,
Human being, for that matter.
Like, essentially to their face, whether it's on social media or not. Like, it felt like a personal attack at that point.
It's stuff like that just gets me. Again, we're not mentioning names, Jess, and I appreciate not mentioning names. That poor excuse for a person that is just all over our buddy Cher's back all week this week, and you've even come to a defense with this yahoo on Twitter. It's just like, why are these people allowed access to a computer? Why are they allowed out of their whatever home they should be in without the straitjacket hugging them back? Like, it's ridiculous that people like that are allowed to continue to be harassing, and there's just no accountability.
And it could literally be over Jessi being a fan of AEW, or it could be something as like Danielson, and I'm not even making this up, the comments that we pulled that comment from, and a lot of other disturbing comments from, all on a picture of him with his fucking daughter celebrating Earth Day, planting a goddamn tree.
Seriously.
Right. Nothing to do with pro wrestling. Nothing to do with tribalism. None of this.
Here's, I want to read you. Can I read you all an example of something that kind of has something along the lines to do with this? And this is about holding people accountable, okay? It's not long, I promise.
Oh, you good?
But it's in this book. It's in the beginning of this book called Warning Signs. And this is a true story, okay? A white woman in New Jersey woke up to a threatening racist message on her Facebook page attacking her for having biracial children. Assuming the stranger who posted the message lived locally, she called her town's police department. She was told that they would file a report, but she wasn't satisfied with that response. Her friends did some sleuthing and learned that the man lived in Kentucky, 700 miles away. At this point, the woman could have let the matter go, just like those strange comments that he got on that picture of him with his daughter planting a tree for Earth Day. She could have assumed that a man she doesn't know who lives far away posed no threat. She might have decided that she had fulfilled her duty by informing the police. She was so disturbed by the man's posts, however, that she called the local police where the man resided in Kentucky, who directed her to the Kentucky State Police. The state police checked their database and saw that this man had been investigated by the FBI a few months previously for allegedly threatening to commit a school in Tennessee. The next day, the FBI and state police converged on the man's home just as he was pulling out of his driveway with an AR-15, 200 rounds of ammunition, body armor, and plans to commit the worst school in modern history. He was arrested and now is serving 10 years, all because a woman persisted in making sure that someone took her concerns seriously.
Starts with one.
And
it only takes one.
And I bring that up because, like, I'm not even kidding when I say this, and this is what a lot of wrestlers need to understand. You need to take wrestlers' advice that stay off social media, and wrestling fans that stay off social media seriously or have notifications off, because it doesn't help being on that all the damn time. Exactly. And I'm telling you this right now, I have no friends of mine that have been hardcore wrestling fans. I've known friends of mine who have been casual. Both agree with this sentiment that they want, because of all this online beef and online drama and all this tribalism and all this crap that goes on in this community, to the point where it's just downright unhealthy, to the point where you're leaving comments like on a wholesome photo like frickin' tree planting. You know, people have literally left. My friend John left. Mike, both the Mikes left. Want nothing a part of it again, really, on a full-time freaking basis, and it's doing more harm than good, which is why it infuriates me that Triple H.
Change that.
Yeah, exactly. Which is why it infuriates me that Paul Levesque said what he said. And I understand that. I understand that they came at him first. I understand all that. And keep in mind, the person who really started firing the first shot is in the very same company. But that's neither here nor there. He's there and talking about how, AEW beat our developmental brand. Good for them, acting petty himself. Mm-hmm. You're just adding fuel to the fire, dude. Like, this isn't 1998 anymore. This isn't freaking even 1985. It's 2022.
People have access to way more information, and they have it at a rapid rate. We are constantly being fed information 24/7.
Yeah.
Everyone's like, oh, well, back in the Attitude Era, it was just as bad online.
No,
yeah, but
it was
back in the Attitude Era, you had to log off the internet so that your mom could make a phone call to her sister. Like, you had to disconnect from the internet. The internet was not a 24/7 thing. You weren't engulfed in it. You could send a letter. You could read a magazine, but it basically went to that. Now, you can get involved 24/7, immerse yourself into all sorts of communities. And they can be extremely harmful, and they can be extremely radicalizing. And it's dangerous because it continues to feed these people in their own echo chamber, because they don't have to go outside anymore. They don't have to be involved in anything. You can work remote from home. You can, have your groceries delivered. You can have all your food delivered. You don't have to leave your house.
Yeah.
You don't. And you can just sit and consume all day.
That's the problem.
And that's the problem.
Yep.
That's the problem. Back in the Attitude Era, can you imagine if social media was what it was back then?
I said this for days on end,
James, how many times you said
months
this?
on end. I've been saying that since I've been blue in the face, and I've already turned blue 5 times. I've said that so many times on this show, on my shows, every freaking time I could. If you had Twitter in the Attitude Era, oh man. One of two things are going to happen. It's just the same, or if not worse.
It probably would collapse from within because, again, that back then it was a different time, but you still wonder how much people might have really been, as you alluded to, Jessi, just turned by that type of source and that type of volatile nature back then, especially what they were showing on both platforms, which only further enhanced probably that behavior with the freedom of a keyboard.
Right.
Yeah,
I'm so sorry, Elizabeth.
Yeah, seriously, Liz, I'm very sorry. But I really, for the record, if this is triggering anybody, we do apologize. Like, that's not what the intention of this was, obviously.
No, not the intention at all. And I am also
this is real talk, and I'm not trying to put it.
Yeah. I mean, you're not alone. Your feelings are valid, and I'm sorry that's bringing that up. And I think there are still people like that. And here's the thing. And I was kind of talking about this off stream, and the guys will know. Our perception, I think our problem is our perception of what an evil person looks like. It has an almost clownish, cartoonish kind of image. Yeah. Here's the thing. These people online that are trolls, they could be your neighbor. They could be a successful businessman in a company. They could be a former journalist for a very large newspaper.
Yep.
They could be married with a kid and have a family, and you think they're dwelling in their mom's basement. They could be, these people harassing you could be mental health counselors.
And they have been.
Monsters are among us. Horrible people are among us. That's why we have to be the ones to be alert. We are the ones that have to call this shit out when it happens, and this is the reason why people need to be held accountable for serious stuff they say.
Yep.
Takes more than a block and report button, too.
It takes way more than that. Oh, by the way, just to lighten the mood up a little bit, you saw the monsters in Electrical 2?
Yeah.
You saw them too? It was crazy.
Yeah.
I heard there was a party going down there. It's like Monsters Inc. down in that bitch.
All right. This is not brought to you by Pixar, but okay.
No. Well, actually, technically, Jeff, you know.
Doggone it.
I mean,
yeah,
we
really.
we need something to lighten the mood just a little bit. You know.
Yeah, definitely.
I get it. It's all good. I was always a Mike Wazowski fan, so I mean.
I will say this to lighten the mood. CM Punk, if you're watching this, Phil, you introduced yourself to me as Phil, so I'm going to call you Phil because we shook hands and you said, "Hi, I'm Phil." And I went, "Hi, Phil." So I was so nervous. But my man, you are straight edge, do not get me wrong. I respect it. I appreciate it. I don't drink either. And I don't do recreational drugs. I do prescribed drugs. But Phil, Mr. Philip Brooks, please, for the love of God, ask your doctor about medical marijuana. I feel like that could help him
Please!
so much, dude.
Something,
Please smoke
anything.
a fucking joint. Please chill the fuck out. You would be so much less angry. I promise you, it is not drugs, it's medicine. My man Phil, please, for the love of God,
Do
you need
something, bro. Jesus.
That's a testament, by the way, to a person from experience.
I know.
Yes.
That's
I
why
know
I support
people,
that.
I know
Because
people.
And I will
can't
raise
do
my
that.
non-straight edge glass to that. Absolutely. There you go.
Yeah,
For the record,
I
my,
literally go to a doctor and I have a prescription.
yeah. For the record, my dad, in my comments, now that I'm finally back online and I have my little, tizzy online for a second. Most people don't realize when they're being the bad guy. I don't believe anyone wakes up twisting their mustache, and therein lies that. I think that's another thing that needs to be put into
Well, James,
perspective,
basically,
too.
you're saying nobody's born evil. Something has to convey
Basically what we've
that
been saying on
behavior.
stream, yeah.
Whether it grows, evolves, or is influenced over time, that's a whole nother discussion.
Exactly.
And I think a great example of that radicalism is, and I'm gonna mention the incel community.
Yep.
I mean, you see the attacks of the incel communities, and they've killed over 20 people in these mass attacks because of these online databases that cater to their delusions and justify their feelings, their irrational feelings of anger towards women, and it desensitizes them to the horrible feelings that they're feeling. And they get into this microcosm of this world, and that's why it is so dangerous. The incel community is such a good example of a purely online community that started its existence as like a Reddit meme page called Forever Alone and spiraled into this we hate women and Stacy's and Chad's and Betas and Supreme Gentlemen's and all this bullshit. That's like, it literally started like that. That's
Yep.
just insane to me. And
That is insane to me, hearing that.
And here's another thing. You mentioned incel community and all these other radicalized groups. Like, if people think that, okay, well, like, especially to people that don't even realize this stuff does happen in the IWC, like, it does. It has already. We've seen enough over the last 2 years of this stuff happening.
And people have literally
last 5 years
posted about it, talked about it, but
Yeah.
not necessarily done anything about it.
Dude, in the last 5 years, we've seen Moxley get attacked twice in 2 separate freaking stints in 2 different companies. We've seen, Chris Jericho almost get attacked because of freaking ideas that I'm not even going to mention his name anymore, but like I'll just say Cornball freaking said,
Ugh. Don't need to
and
be
it
a
was
rocket
just
scientist to know what you mean.
it was just a bunch of just because of what people said, saying they, a lot of these people, some podcasters will go to that level of saying, if, and some people will be diplomatic and say, I want them gone, or I want them dead in some facet or in so many characters. However they decide to do it.
Right. But again, that's when
and
you go.
Jesse says that it only takes one, and there have been very close calls, even recently.
Yeah.
Sonya Deville.
Sonya Deville. How about Seth freaking Rollins? That's the biggest one. Instead of people rallying behind Seth Rollins, people were getting mad that Seth didn't fight back when legitimately, with all the fear that we have in this freaking world, He was in fear of his damn life. Get off
Okay,
his
but
back.
the guy broke into Sonya Deville's house and said he was going to decapitate her, and
Yeah.
then had kidnapping stuff. I mean, that's pretty.
That's
That's
pretty
pretty
bad.
extreme. That goes above and beyond the word
Bro.
radical, to say the least. And unfortunately, this type of virtual behavior has literally cost people lives.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's why I'm saying
R.I.P.
that.
Hana Kimura.
That's why I bring up Seth, because he's seen his coworkers damn near, hurt by this. When people are like, I couldn't believe, like, there's a lot of things you can dog freaking Seth on, and trust me, I have, plenty of people have, because he's kind of a dick sometimes himself on social media. But oh my lord, does that not give you the damn right to go out there and try to assault him, and then for the freaking community to dogpile on him and say, oh, what a, basically in so many words, a pussy for wanting to be protected. It's freaking mind-boggling to me. How are you going to say that? This guy literally saw, you mentioned Sonya Deville, that happened in his locker room with his peers. That happened to one of his own. No shit, I'd be scared too if I was in his shoes.
Absolutely. You can't. Then that's the thing. You have no idea what these people are bringing in. You have no idea what they're carrying on them. You don't know what their intentions are.
You don't.
Yeah.
People
It
have
happens
pulled that
so
freaking
fast.
entranceway plenty of times.
Yeah. I mean,
It's crazy. Again, we talk about perception. There's the scope of that perception, and then there's the view of it from, POV versus the actual person itself. And the way you justify what, again, wrong is wrong. That's the bottom line. Wrong is wrong.
Right.
People trying to justify something that's wrong as right. It's some sort of radicalized way of idealism and philosophy that just adds once again to this bubbling toxicity that you said again has really boiled over more this summer season, it seems, than any other time I've seen in the little bit of time I've been involved in this Twitter community.
yeah,
Yeah.
and that's where it's like, y'all, we need to take a big step back and check in on our friends. Like,
Yeah. Yep.
we all
Anthony,
have,
we love
I'm
you, brother.
I'm sure we all have friends that sometimes will go a little bit too far on Twitter, and I've had friends do that, and I've been like, "Hey, man, are you okay? Are you doing all right?" And
Right.
sure enough, they're not. They're not okay. They're going through something.
Or they're
And
trying to
then,
get away from this, they're not sure how, and you fear that they
right,
might do something, irrational. I mean, again, you learn from experience, you grow from your mistakes, and Jessi, I'm sure you and I can both be a testament to we are no exception to why we're talking about this. We are at fault of doing this too. All of us are.
oh my God, yes. Oh man, I am so guilty of it. I'll be the first to admit. I'll be the first to admit how wrong I've been.
I got a first class ticket.
Yes.
James, we know.
That's why you're so comfortable doing it. You're sitting in them cushy ass seats up front.
I am in a cushy seat.
But that's part of
my
why you're on
chair
the
has
show
lower
with
back
us, because
massager,
we
but I'm
know.
not
That's
doing
right.
it right now.
That's right. So I have been asked by the people that run the house, that run the show, to start wrapping things up. So
Okay.
throwing them under the bus is what I gotta do.
And the warden is freaking calling a timeout like the horn from Millionaire.
Right, it is what it is. That's
Yeah.
it. We got to pay the bills too. So again, I can't even again, my articulation skills have dwindled a lot last year, and that's just from the head trauma. But I can't even possibly thank you enough, Jessi, for again putting the article out there and getting all of us, fired up about it. Whether we should have to be fired up about it is not the point. The point is that people need to be aware of how they are to who they are at all times. And it just seems like, especially Twitter, but the general social media platforms have allowed us all to
The great
again, I saw a
society.
great quote from Tyson. Social media has made us all very comfortable with not being held accountable for our words by getting a punch in the face, or something to that degree. It's like, damn right.
You want to go punch someone on that plane? That was I'm sorry.
And Psycho, I appreciate the $2. Thank you. And
Thank you.
at the moment, I'm not going to disagree with that because the public perception of both companies has drastically shifted from the start of the summer to now. Because when we hit June, everybody was all down on the old man, and AEW was the greatest thing since sliced bread. At number 2, Brian Kendrick, we love you too, bro. Even though you're crazy too, we love you.
When I came on board, when I came board on the team here, and we did WrestleMania, and then did WrestleMania Backlash, and basically had to twist James's arm to cover and do commentary on that, and he felt like it was a chore to cover it.
Yep.
And then now you fast forward a few months, and both Noah and James, who are diehard AEW fans, could give less than a fuck about WWE, especially hashtag not Noah's NXT.
Not my NXT. That's
for them to now be tuning in on a regular basis, catching the product, enjoying the product, still enjoying AEW more, I think it's safe to say, but actually enjoying what WWE is putting out on a regular basis. That says everything you need to say about what the company has done just in those 5 months.
The fact that Noah willingly called 2 straight days of action and a less than half, because AEW did every freaking match in the universe on Sunday, but
right,
the fact that half of that match time was WWE produced, that speaks volumes. And the fact that James was along for most of it, that speaks volumes to me.
Yeah.
Again,
so,
I just try to enjoy wrestling. Social media will not have a grip on me when it comes to what brought me to love this in the first place.
Exactly.
It's like, go ahead, Jessi, I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say that's a really important point that I always try to make to people is, like, I'll be live streaming on Twitch with a show, and I'll be like, this is the best show ever. When Bryan Danielson, when that guy came out, when Elliot Taylor came out and did Born for Greatness live, I was popping my pussy, having a great time. I didn't care. I was having so much fun. I was so excited, and
her little girl actually sang Brian's song on the Great Show. That melted my heart.
But we do like that song around here, okay? I
seriously,
myself around my children.
She flat out. We were. I think it may have been Brent. I forget. Whoever spun the wheel when I was on Great Show last week. We landed on karaoke. He and I had done karaoke in a year, and all of a sudden, somebody said Bryan Danielson song, and the little one popped right in there and sang the verse. I was like, that is the cutest damn thing I've seen this side of wrestling in 2 years.
It's such a motivational song. We use it as a motivational song.
Awesome.
I always try and tell her she was born for greatness, but I don't.
Exactly.
The dancing stays for the nighttime. Okay, that's the nighttime dancing. That's when the kids have gone to bed. I'd be popping my pussy to Born for Greatness.
All right.
But during the day,
it's open mic night. Everything's fair game.
Open mic night on the Jeff Meacham Network.
During the day, it's a motivational, uplifting song. But at the end of the day, I get down. You know what I mean? So I was having so much fun with that song. And then I go online retroactively, and I see all these people taking a big old dump on it and just being like, "Oh, that was so lame." And you know what? I was like, I'm not gonna. Don't ever let other people rob you, in retrospect, from the joy that you felt in that moment.
Exactly.
Nobody can rob the joy that you feel while watching AEW or WWE. Nobody can rob you of that feeling. They can disagree with you.
Right.
But don't let these people poo-pooing on stuff that you like.
That's right.
Make you feel like your joy was not as valid. Your joy is so valid.
Yeah.
You know?
Every single person that went on there and criticized the guy singing Brian's song, out on the stage and it was crapping on him. Like, you know what? Jesse's daughter says poo-poo on you, dude, because that was the best thing ever.
That was freaking awesome.
Damn it. That a lot.
But I digress. Bottom line, you are your own fan. No one else interprets that for you.
Yes.
Period.
Exactly.
Now that we've got all the information out there. And again, we thank you, Jess. I wanted to give you the opportunity first to go ahead and plug, in addition to the article, which is out there on your Twitter. It's linked in your Twitter. Is it still your pin post?
My pin post is still my GoFundMe.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
That's
yeah,
fair
please
enough.
go do that too.
Please go and follow her and donate to the GoFundMe if you can.
Thank you, y'all.
Support
And-
a wonderful
and as a-
individual and wrestling fan.
As was reminded throughout the night, and again, Greg was all, well, Jessica gave me the question for the con. It's like, dude, you told me winter. That means I got between December and March, so screw you, Greg. The
I don't know
gauntlet
anything about that.
Greg defends the championship on the live stream. All the super chats, be it on, and we're gonna try to have it on Greg's channel. Well, Greg's channel for sure. We're gonna try to put it on my channel, and we're trying to get Aaron to have it be on No DQ, which means there'll be super chats aplenty, and they will be directed toward that account. So
that'd be great.
that is the plan. Whenever I have this guy stop my training in the next 2 weeks, we'll definitely get those questions going. But it all starts Monday. God help me. But thank you. Is there anything else you want to throw out there to promote before we say goodnight?
Yes. For those that don't know, where can they find you?
You can find me on the Twitter. Please don't try and find me on Instagram and Facebook. I had to lock that shit down. So
Don't blame
you. As you should.
Yeah, I gotta protect my kids from freaking.
That's right.
But I guess my Twitter at Jessi the Buckeye, go Bucks, and then my
That's right,
Twitch,
go Bucks.
My Twitch is Jessi the Buckeye 1 because I forgot the password to the other one.
At least she's honest. That's it. Okay. So yeah. When we say go Bucks, we mean go Buckeyes, not go Buccaneers tomorrow. Go Cowboys.
Right.
Jessi, as a fellow Buckeye, I always say Ohio represents. So yeah, Buckeye.
Yes, Ohio against the world, baby.
Hey, I'm a Tom Brady fan. I got a first class ticket to that one. I'm sorry.
No.
We gotta get it.
Hey,
you freaking idiot!
Hey, listen.
Thank you for that.
You don't want to deny that Tom Brady's the GOAT, and I just want to see him win one more.
But I hate the school that he went to. I hate it.
Hey, if you watched the Disney Plus unveilings the last couple days, even Santa Claus thinks Brady's better than Peyton Manning. So there you go.
Yeah, there you go. So when Santa says it, it must be true.
But hey, well, okay.
Oh no.
He's a better singer. I'm not sure about better replacement Santa Claus, but definitely a better singer according
Going
to.
down the rabbit hole, a whole different world. This isn't Alice in Wonderland either.
I got a show for the boss. Leave me alone.
Where do we go? Hey, I don't know, man. Mick Foley might be offended by that.
No. Trust me, Mick is my inspiration for all my Santa stuff. So I can't even hate on jolly old Saint Mick, ever.
There you go.
I will tell you all this. When I was in the hospital, Mick Foley was Santa for my kids.
Hell yeah!
Oh,
yes,
that's awesome.
He is so
literally a gem. One of the kindest people I've ever met.
Nice.
He is one of the few guys in my 32 years of fandom, almost 20. God, here goes my spine again. Jesus, of doing this, that I've never felt anything but this dude's being real with me.
Yep.
He's being straight with me,
Amen.
And it's like crazy nice. Like you almost like, are you for real, dude? Like seriously?
Too nice.
It's awesome.
A lot of people call him too nice, but I'm not nice enough. Keep being nicer. I love
it. The thing is, guys, there is kindness out in this world, and you may wonder why it is, and to the lengths of why these people seem like it is, and it generally is, but you don't question it. You welcome it. You learn from it. And you damn sure try to share it.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly.
Pay it forward.
Absolutely.
So,
by the way, my dad loved the impromptu discussion of Mick Foley.
Very cool.
Yay.
I'm glad your dad's been able to watch this, and because I know he's dealing with a lot. They're doing a lot of crap back at home too. So, with that being said, with that transition, James, what are you promoting this week?
Well, with that said, you guys can find me on YouTube, youtube.com/user/Hebert95. That's JHEBERTSIDE95. If you want to know what I've done, I've just about done everything under the sun, including Let's Plays, podcasting, wrestling shows, YouTube shows, music shows, and also theme edits. You may have heard. You may have heard the five-figure death punch edit that has over 1 million views. Yeah, that me. So yeah,
I love that.
yeah, the one with it was the Jekyll and Hyde one. The one with the added lyrics.
Yes.
That's me.
You're brilliant.
And he has his own shirt on ProWrestlingTees/Jeff Meacham Network.
Indeed.
But we're
absolutely.
back at zero again.
Support Jeff Meacham Network by buying my shirt. Please buy me a shirt. Buy my shirt.
Shout out to Five Finger Death Punch's new album too.
Yeah, absolutely. Go check that out. I love Five Finger Death Punch. I'm so glad you're a fan of Five Finger Death Punch.
Walk Away is one of my favorite songs of all time.
Which one?
Walk Away.
Walk Away.
Ah, yeah, you're cultured. Yeah, that's the one.
Just walk away.
I love it. Walk Away. Yeah, love that song.
Hey! No super chats for karaoke. Hold on to that.
I'm not even kidding. The original Gone Away by the Offspring, I hate it now.
Yeah.
Ever since I heard Five Finger done it, because it's so good. It's so good.
Wrong Side of Heaven. That video makes me cry.
That's my theme song in my freaking CAW show.
Really?
Not even kidding. Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All
right, before we get claimed, we'll definitely get claimed singing that one probably.
Yeah.
Listen.
Listen. You go check me out on YouTube. That's youtube.com/user/jhebert95. Check out all the stuff over there. Also check out me out on Twitter. That's youtube.com/user/jhebertside. Or, I'm sorry, twitter.com/jhebertside95. I already botching already. It's not a wrestling show without a botch, people.
That's a fact.
Go check out other channels as well involved in the umbrella of FTW Productions, including Noah's, including Casey's, and including Owen's. Both of his channels. We're actually going to be starting stuff on both of them very soon. NASCAR Thunder Let's Plays are going to be coming back, and we have a plan to do another Button Mashers for Stable Wars. So that's coming up again as well. That's going to be a lot of fun for Smash Brothers mod. We're having a good time with that, and we got a whole new crew of people that want to join in on that one. So go check that out when you can on Casey's channel. And last but certainly not least, definitely go check out my buddy Kuzon, who is doing a bunch of different watch-alongs on his Twitch channel. I don't remember the exact URL, but you can find his Twitch in his Twitter URL at twitter.com/xFirelordKuzonX. Go check that out. I'll probably be on a lot of those because I need me some retro wrestling to detox from the bullshit.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Watch
That's
throwback.
And
So
also,
rewatch SummerSlam 2012 again, James.
yes. Please get those views up because, man, we had to sit through some of the most craptastic Vince production ever. Go check that out, please. And also, check out SummerSlam 2003, SummerSlam 2002, WWF SummerSlam 2000, and WWF SummerSlam 1992. Did a whole SummerSlam retro series. Noah was a part of it at some point. Kuzan was as well. JJ was. We had a good time. I think it came out great. Go check that out. And stay tuned for a Judgment Day 2007 review. That should be great. Bobby Lashley lost the ECW title that night. The less said about that, the better.
James,
No. He lost it at Backlash. The rematch was a Judgment Day.
Oh.
Either way, it's a
I
horrible
graduated high school.
black mark. Oh wow, I'm old again. Cool. Christ.
What, 2007?
2001,
Yeah.
sweetheart.
Wow.
Oh, wow. You were so what? That's not that far.
Well,
2007. 6 years.
I'm trying to deflect from saying JJ's because he's even farther back than I am. Anyway,
By the way, thanks,
to
Psycho.
redirect, yeah.
That's everything I got to plug. I'm done with my promotion.
Good luck,
So,
James.
before we get into the
Thanks for writing
ungodly
down,
amount of
James.
shilling that JJ and I have to do,
Ooh.
because we do,
Ooh.
it was pointed out, Midnight Hit.
There's one thing.
Jesus Christ.
Sorry,
what's up with the
sorry,
JJ?
I almost forgot. I wanted to read a quote to end this off before we end it officially, because it's by my dad, and I think his quote perfectly sums up this podcast. Just wanted to make that clear. Everybody else can plug their stuff now. I just want to point that out there. Cool.
Cool. So, before we go to the plugs for me and Jay, it was pointed out that we have now hit September 11th, and I wanted to make sure that this got ran before we signed off. So, producer man, do your thing.
We still remember where we were, in that moment that changed us forever. A morning that galvanized a nation. Out of fear came strength, and out of tragedy came resilience, and more heroes stepped forward than anyone could ask for. So on this somber anniversary, we remember that there are some things we will never forget.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, God, I wish you would have told me you were going to do that. You suck. Okay.
God bless Lillian Garcia, still the best voice ever to be on the microphone in the ring in the WWE to sing the national anthem.
I have
Absolutely.
been very blessed to have two decent acquaintances, I'll say. I'm not going to call them friends. I'm not going to bullshit myself that much. God, that close-up's just killed. Oh, Jesus. It scares even me. And Lillian Garcia and our Kings Good Luck Charm and Pia Toscana, who both sing that song just beautifully. And him and Jay. Anyway, I hate the show, Jay. Thank you for that. That was very cool. All right.
I agree.
So,
At the end of the day, I had to tie it back to wrestling, one.
of
And
course.
two, for years and years and years, when burning CDs was the trendy thing to do,
Oh, I remember that.
I
it
do,
would
I
be
do
the
that still.
WWE signature. It would be Lillian singing the national anthem from the September 13th, 2001 performance. It would be insert TV theme here, Raw or SmackDown, and then the Superstars.
Absolutely.
That always was track 2 as soon as the signature was done. That performance.
The first live televised wrestling show I ever went to was WrestleMania 2000. And I heard Lillian sing that night, and I just swooned. And here we are 22 years, whatever it is, 22 years later.
Feels like it was just yesterday, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Right?
right.
Seriously,
Well,
it's
that's
like
why I
I know exactly.
I'm gonna be at near Angel Stadium Monday for the first part of my training stuff, and it's like, man, the pond's right there. It does not feel like 22 and a half years has passed since that WrestleMania event it was. Let's not kid ourselves, but yeah, 20 years, 22 years since that WrestleMania. But yeah, 9/11, 21 years.
Remember.
It's crazy.
Never forget it. Never forget
Okay,
it.
so
Yes.
do you want me to plug your stuff, or do you actually want to talk about your stuff?
We'll plug your stuff first, then we'll go to my stuff. Then
Okay.
James can do his quote, because I actually had a quote I was going to end with for the episode as well. Then we'll throw to Noah to bring us out as he always do.
Fair
So the one I just sent you first, then, since that's gonna work backwards.
Because you've got the great inspirational speech to take us
You
out
always
of here,
do, brother.
Noah.
We love you so much.
No further words are needed after your closing statement, but
Very true.
go ahead, Jeff.
So the next 4 premium presentations we're going to have on here, God help us, Bound for Glory. Noah has decided that we're going to go ahead and do that. He's going to call commentary, so we're going to run it. Again, I don't know what my schedule is on these 4 days. I have no idea what the mouse is going to throw at me. Not a clue. But Noah will be here. JJ has agreed to at least produce/run the show, so we got it. Bound for Glory coming up October. It is Impact Wrestling's biggest show of the year, even if it's on a Friday night. You jerks. Impact.
Yeah, coming Impact.
The next day, we'll have WWE Conservative Suggestions on Peacock and WWE Network. And then the following week, and then the following month, we have we are not going to cover Country Redacted because it's too early in the morning, and frickin' covering that UK show nearly kicked my butt. So no.
Although we do need a shirt that says Country Redacted.
We also need a shirt that says Conservative Rejections for the month of Extreme Rules.
That is coming out for October. I will make that a thing. But then in November we will have Hot Times for the NWA, if you will.
That
in New
poster
Orleans, of
is
course.
amazing.
Hard Times on November 12th, and Full Gear, which AEW, we'll see what they do in the next 2 months, man, because that's going to be a hotbed show without a doubt. You will know there is no actual live open mic night on Bound for Glory night because it's a Friday night, but we will have open mic night the next night after Conservative Suggestions on the Peacocks.
Can I just say, if you look really closely into the eyes of the Hard Times person, you could see the ego of Nick Aldis shine through.
Ow! I'm trying to get myself unblocked by the National Treasure. You're killing me, Smalls.
All I want to know is, what are they trying to do here, killing me? Like, I just started this job, and I'm pretty much doing all day on Saturdays. I'm probably going to have Noah or James log into my StreamYard so that they can produce until I get home.
Somebody better hope to God that one of us is able to, I got you. Be kind to me.
I got you.
But
just please provide me an intro, because I don't know if I'll have time to do that.
Just to make us all feel old again. Josh was 4.
Oh my God.
Josh was 4. Oh, Josh was 4. No! I'm gonna be 27.
Okay.
So everybody else, get your canes out. Go look for your bottles of Rogaine. I think my dentures are in the cup over here.
I got my Ovaltine. We're good to go. Jesus.
I was 9 years old. I was in 4th grade when that crap happened. Jeez.
God, y'all just suck. Anyway, I will forever remember that day, not just because of what it was, but because I was literally 2 weeks off of my accident. So I watched everything unfold from either my bed recovering or my living room couch recovering from the car wreck. So everything is so visceral and fresh, even now, 21 years later. It's crazy.
I was literally in history class when it happened.
That's creepy.
And my teacher was like, because we had these journals, and our teacher was like, everyone, I want you to get out your journals, and I want you all day to start writing down what's happening.
Right.
Because what you are witnessing right now is history, and I did. And I still have that notebook. It's insane.
Were you guys, were you still on the East Coast at that point?
We were in Orlando, so we thought we were a target.
Oh, well, yeah, because, they shut Disney down. That's one of the few times they've shut Disney down outside of scheduled stuff.
Yeah. It's so
that's crazy.
My dad had an interview at Universal Studios that day.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's an interesting conversation piece. Jeez.
Right.
So it got canceled, and they brought me home from school because they were scared because, like we said, we didn't know. I mean, they were hitting landmarks. Right. So we were like, oh, God, Orlando's next. So.
Yes. Josh is notorious for that.
You need a super chat every time you make one of us feel old, for real.
That's right.
By our ages. By our ages.
Born in 2000.
$30.
Oh my God.
We got babies watching this show. It's past y'all's bedtime. Go to sleep. Jesus Christ.
What
ass is in. Anyway, so in addition to the premium, super, whatever the hell you want to call them shows, we do have our weekly content. And yes, Talk Wrestling is back usual time slot. No, I'm not going to retire it permanently until the mouse tells me I have to. Whatever. But this Monday, Dad's Always in Wrestling will feature our top 10 movies set in the school setting because JJ's Renegade's Reviews is doing school all month. So we're going to go ahead and keep the theme, brothers.
Yes,
of course, Talk Wrestling.
Unfortunately, due to circumstances beyond our control, we were unable to do the live broadcast last week. So this one on Monday will be a taped episode.
Yes.
However, once we get to the 19th, that'll be live again, or are we counting that one too? I don't know.
We have to count that one too. I have an appointment I can't get out of. I'm sorry.
That's right. That's right. You had mentioned that. I just forgot. So that one will be
It's okay. It's all good.
Continue with your show.
Yeah. So, it's one of those, I had to make a doctor appointment when the mouse wasn't directing my traffic. So it was what it was. So Monday the 12th for Top 10 Movies Set in School. Talk Wrestling on Tuesday. The Greg Sherry Show. Maybe featuring Jessi again. Why not? We'll have Jessi back all the time. It's all good. Wednesdays, it's every Wednesday at 7 o'clock Eastern 4 Pacific. And next Monday, the 19th, our Dads and Always Wrestling will back to wrestling. And it'll be the top 10 X Division champion. I know it says TNA because I just like the TNA font, so I use that. And there it is. That's the reason why we're doing that show. Because JJ finally got his X title. So
Nice.
We're excited about that.
That was my birthday gift from Statboy. Thank you once again, Statboy, for everyone that missed me opening it up on Statboy Sports Bar this week.
Yes.
There it is in all of its shiny glory.
So pretty.
And Josh, I'm not sure if JJ has it starred because he's doing the producer thing. Yes, as we mentioned earlier, all the super chats we garner during the big gauntlet when Greg's defending the championship, or even if he happens to lose, God help us, during that 10-person gauntlet, every super chat garnered during that stream will be from the Jeff Meacham Network, from the Greg Trey brand, and hopefully from NoDQ.com. Will go into the GoFundMe to help Jessi get everything back together. So we love Jessi so much.
I will throw it up again, Josh. I've thrown it up a couple times now.
Yes. There you go. And again, coming soon is relative.
Yes.
WTC does not mean World Trade Center.
No. Kind of
Just
ironic.
to be a
Did,
challenge.
but yeah, yes. But yeah, sometime in the winter, we will definitely be running that.
Write those questions, and Lord help the person's got to read them all off.
Well, okay. So as of now, since it's Greg versus the world, I think either it really depends on what. Come here, you. Depends what this dude does in the next couple weeks. So we'll see. Anyway. Oh boy, start a new job. Oh God. Okay. Anyway. Sorry, Brett. By the way, happy birthday again, Brett. I love you, brother. Anyway. So in addition to the weekly stuff on my channel and the pay-per-views coming up, JJ has a packed week and a packed month. Let's look at that. That is just bananas.
Girls, clueless.
That's right. I also do, Jessi, a show called Renegades Reviews where I do movie reviews. This month I'm doing movies that take place in a school setting. So we're getting ready to come up on a whole week, well, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, of female-led movies. So we've got the 90s classic Clueless. We've got that turn of the century's Mean Girls. Heathers from the 80s with Alicia Silverstone, Lindsay Lohan, and Winona Ryder, respectively.
Yep.
We've got Stat Boy Sports Bar featuring Dory Lou every Tuesday. She-Hulk, been covering the newest Disney Plus original show every Thursday. And then new release Saturday, Kevin Hart and Mark Wahlberg in Me Time. It is a Netflix original movie that you can check out now on Netflix. And then Sundays, of course, The War Zone, the weekly acquisition report where I show off the newest additions to my ever-growing movie library.
Nice.
Jessi, I gotta ask, when you saw Mean Girls, did that encourage you to write your own burn book ever?
No.
She's not a mean girl. That's why she's too nice.
That's right. She actually needs a person.
I never in a million years. I was
Yeah.
I was more mad at the one that made the girl eat the bars to make her fat. I thought that was
Yeah.
And I don't know if you have the graphic loaded or not, JJ. If you don't, that's fine. I'll just talk about it real quick. October, JJ is doing 31 straight days of either classic horror or classic spooky. Nightmare on Elm Street, Addams Family first, right? Yeah, Addams Family. Nightmare on Elm Street, Addams Family, all 5 Scream movies, Hocus Pocus, and Hocus Pocus 2, which debuts any day now. Yay. All 45 Halloween movies.
Yes.
Somehow within 13 days, somehow. And
plus, the new release Saturdays all have a spooky tint to them. I'm doing Rob Zombie's Monsters.
Ooh.
I'm doing a movie called Bitch Ass, which is a new horror movie.
Is it like
I want to say it's a streaming original.
Kick-Ass, but with a bitch?
No.
VHS.
Definitely not like Kick-Ass. And I will say this. The irony of him having bitch ass during his watchings of Rob Zombie's Halloween 1 and 2 is not lost on anybody that knows JJ. Because he despises those movies. Oh, and yes, all the control of my life by some sort of rodent, mouse or rat. It is what it is, folks.
Oh, Browns. Let's go, Browns. Here we go, Brownies. Here we go.
Who the Browns playing tomorrow?
Fuck if I know. I'm just...
Wow.
She's honest, kids.
Wow.
Fuck if I know.
Jesus.
I don't give a shit. I'm
James.
No, I do care, but I'm just like...
But at the same time, it's like, damn it, Bottlegate, you couldn't give us one.
No.
I feel bad for the Browns. I really do.
Oh, they're playing. They're playing the team that plays in North Carolina.
North
Oh, the
Carolina.
Panthers?
Oh boy.
Yes.
Well, here we go.
Well, I'm just like, we're gonna have another 0-16 parade. Shout out to my friend Chris McNeil who organized that whole parade.
JJ and Noah are going. We don't watch NFL. Can we move on now?
Right. James, you wanted
I
to
I only
give
watch
a
one game a year.
That's right.
I had a
I'm
quote.
so devastated, y'all. I don't even. All of my Browns jerseys that are new are my 2 Browns jerseys that I had were Odell Beckham Jr. who doesn't even play there anymore, and Baker Mayfield who doesn't even play there anymore. I hate it.
You got some great memorabilia though that could be worth something if those are kept pristine, right?
No, because my
Not the Mayfield one.
jersey was shit.
Oh.
My
I don't know
Browns
about that
jersey was
one.
shit. My Colt McCoy, my fucking Colt McCoy Browns jersey was shit.
I was trying to lighten the mood. I
It's
don't know
not
anything
my
about
business.
football. I only watch one game a year.
In the words of a great talk show sidekick, that Baker Mayfield Browns jersey is a wonderful jersey. For me to poop on. Anyway, there you go. There we go. Carry on.
That's sad.
That's sad, but it's true.
I
But we
do,
love you,
I
Jess.
do
It's
have
okay.
a quote, but I forgot one damn plug, and I can't believe I even forgot this plug. And it's actually perfect and timely. So I'm gonna start it off, and then we'll
Are
segue
those
right
the
into the
global
quote.
glasses?
Yes, they are, and there's a reason I'm wearing them.
Deal
So,
with it.
you guys should check out my CAW league, and it's called Weymouth Youth Wrestling. That's youtube.com/users/WYW Pride. And you know why you should check it out? You want wrestling that's fully fictional and doesn't have IRL bullshit? Check out Weymouth Youth Wrestling. There's my freaking shameless plug. That's why they're on, and now they're off.
I love it.
So with that said, to go into a semi-serious thing, I wanted to read this quote off because I think it encapsulates this whole podcast to a T. This is what my dad said a while ago now. When people argue, they end up being a position of seeing the other person as a position. All the humanity is lost, especially when they aren't right in front of each other. If we seek to understand what and why people believe something, and if we disagree, realize it is not an unforgivable sin, but a disagreement, then perhaps we can rapture our humanity.
Love it.
Or recapture our humanity.
Preach it,
What
brother.
rapture? We don't want to rapture.
You're trying to call the second coming? What the world?
Yeah, not rapture.
Oh, shit.
Not rapture.
What the heck?
I misspoke. No rapture
Fine.
today.
Good.
I don't need
know
no
what you
rapture.
meant.
I got
I
too
know
much to
what you
do. I'm too busy.
Yeah, I can
Botch
tell.
can at least 3 F-word count is off the chain because Jesse and James are on the show tonight, so it is what it is.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Team
Jesse-
Rocket over here.
Jesse and
We
I.
make the money anyway.
We got
use
Jesse and James.
direct.
Oh Lord, that is
Team Rocket over here.
Ah!
No,
use
that's
direct
no.
WWE
That
copyrighted-
ain't Team Rocket. Hold on, that ain't Team Rocket. That Team Fuck It.
That's even worse.
Hey.
Team works. Yeah,
All right.
it's all but the money's not gonna have anyway. We used a WWE copyrighted video, and I used a Phantasmic thing for Brett's birthday. We ain't making shit tonight.
This is already. This already
That
was the
works.
most.
As long as you don't say them within the first 30 seconds of the video, you're good.
Okay, there you go.
Oh, swear words, yeah, but the music, I'm screwed. Yeah.
Oh,
If I say you're gonna get claimed by WWE. That being said, this definitely was a priceless conversation, Jesse. I hope to definitely engage you more, whether it's on this or anything wrestling on this platform again too. This was a wonderful joy having you here.
Absolutely.
Yes,
Thank
Yes,
you.
absolutely.
It was wonderful
And-
to be here.
And Josh, it gets you brownie points only if you make sure they're special brownies and you send some to Phil Brooks in Chicago.
Dear God, please.
Make
Do
him
us
chill
all a
out.
favor.
That's right.
I beg.
JJ, you had a quote, and then we'll have Noah take us home.
Yes. Often on open mic night, the topics can get very serious, very heated. So what I wanted to start doing with this being the season premiere is I wanted to try to, whether it's in music or movies, try to find some kind of inspirational quote to try to wrap up the shows on. And tonight's quote comes from a man that I admire, John Lennon. Life is what happens while you're busy making other plans.
Ain't that the truth?
Oh,
That's
I
the
like
damn
that.
truth. Look at that.
It's
Yeah.
about the journey, not the destination.
Hey,
I love
man.
it. I love
Something
it.
to think about.
Begins
Yes,
with a single
absolutely.
step.
Yeah.
Jessi, once again, thank you for being here. Jeff, thank you for being able to come on.
Yeah, I'm so glad I was here.
Noah, James, pleasure as always doing
Pleasure's
this
mine.
with you. Noah, take us out as you always do.
I just hope, if nothing else, everybody gained one thing: be a better human being and just enjoy wrestling. But that being said, if people do want to know more about me, know this: I am just a simple man and a lifelong fan of what's the word I'm looking for? Oh yeah, professional wrestling. Damn it! But I digress.
About it, sure.
I'm on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Foster1916 for all things wrestling. Shout out, of course, the entire W fan on Twitter, especially to Eric and Anthony. I hope, James, if you want to try and tell them, I hope they personally engage in this conversation and tonight's episode of Might Night 2. And may it once again remind them, remember, you enjoy wrestling as a fan. Don't let social media take that away from you. Or any bullcrap you see in out of the industry, too, allegedly. But I digress. And again, as far as stuff that goes for me, I don't have really anything going on this week. For once, I can take it easy. Hey! But shout out to... Yeah, I know, right? 7 days of straight streaming. Good Lord Almighty, I need a freaking break. So I'll just be doing my usual Daily Slam coverage of all Elite Wrestling, Dynamite, and Rampage this week. And then next week, of course, I have the impactful duo with me and the new normal, Jerry, insert last name here, as we talk about Victory Road. And of course, keep posted here for all other things that I might come forward to discuss that these engaging individuals will sure to bring forward to my attention too. But as always, let it conclude. There are no winners, there are no losers, there are no betters. There are just fans with their own opinions for this passion that we all share. At the end of the day, folks, support one another, respect each other, protect your mentality too, and just enjoy life and enjoy professional wrestling too. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And that is why Noah takes us out each week. Thank you once again to everybody for tuning in for the season premiere of Open Mic Night. We will catch you guys next week.
You like jazz?
I like jazz. Shout out to Louis Armstrong. What a wonder. Oh, that was horrible. Cut it
I like
off.
Trish, but I do like jazz also.
Thank you all so